This is probably the most anticipated video that you guys have been asking for so long. It has been a very long time since I made my last artillery setup pairing video, and I basically have been explaining to everyone the reason it's been so long is I'm waiting for that new Gen 5 Siege Officer that is free to play. Now he is here. I've done the testing. Guys, I'm letting you know now, this took so long to do. We tested so many different pairings, but we also left out a lot of different pairings too. And the reason for that is purely the fact of I didn't want to go through every single option because we've tested them in the past and we know they're nothing crazy. Now, one person who I didn't include in here that maybe I could have, and honestly, I don't see why, you know, he should be left out. But at the same time, we're just moving on with newer and newer officers. It's the only reason I left him out. And the reason we left out Flame is because, yes, he is really good. He does obviously substitute the extra 25% damage. But other than that, that's all he really is good for. So if, for example, you have more Howies than what we're going to be mentioning in here, Flame is someone you want to include. He's going to be probably one of the next best options available. But excluding that, we're going to be breaking down and talking about the different options. And there are some surprising results. There are some officers on here that I thought would do much better that actually didn't do that well at all compared to other officers. So I do want to let everyone know how we came to the testing of this. Obviously, I'm not showing it in the video. We're just going through the results because otherwise the video would be so long. I literally was testing for a good 3-4 hours of every different combination. So the way we actually went through all of these testings, guys, is we ended up doing pre-charged Howies. So every howitzer was pre-charged, and when we done these pre-charged howitzer shots, we obviously hit 3 shots every single time. We made sure that every time 3 shots had gone off before the actual skill went, because one, Yardbird takes advantage of that, and we wanted obviously to be in the most accurate scenario. And as we know from the research, guys, there is also going to be extra firepower whenever you have 3 shots after 3 shots of your howitzer. So here is the breakdown, guys. We went through and tested all these different officer pairings, and we went through and got the results for everyone. And as you can see, we've color coordinated all of them. How this works, guys, was I done multiple tests. We done 1 attack, 2 attacks, and honestly, I ended up doing a lot more attacks, and I ended up just taking the highest number and the lowest number that we received from these tests, and we made an average of it because, as I mentioned, it all comes down to averages at the end of the day. You're not always going to hit the highest number. You're not always going to hit the lowest number. So we went through the averages, guys. Just because it says you only done 50 mil, you could potentially hit a 60 mil shot, but I'm not saying it's going to be guaranteed. Now, here is the way we done it, guys. Obviously, the top one here is just going to be the previous 3 that we know about. We've done the testing. If I scroll further down here, we have got more to talk about at the end. One thing that really stood out to me was Lady Liberty. Lady Liberty, guys, as strong as we know she is as an officer, genuinely was surprisingly weak compared to, honestly, every other combination on the game. Another one as well, I is very good. Normally, whenever you're with he does amazing. But and Silent Thunder, we done a lot of tests, guys. And literally, I'm not joking you, 38.8 mil was pretty much the highest we got almost every single time. We didn't get anything higher than that. I've done so many tests with him. I've done more probably with this one because I was so shocked at the number than any other combination, and we pretty much just got the same result almost every time. We got 2 results lower than this, but obviously I just put the average in because literally every single time, I think I've done like 10 tests, guys, and this was the most surprising one. So, other than the surprising and Silent Thunder, because we know how strong Silent Thunder is and how strong is, it wasn't a very good option. But all the others with was amazing. Yardbird came through with, you know, a good couple, Vindicta and being the main ones. And then moving down, Futurist was really good as well. On average, Futurist did come through with some really nice results. And then if we keep moving down, Silent Thunder, obviously one of the best results on the game. Red Heat had some decent ones. But guys, Frostline, He's pretty average. He's nothing crazy when it comes to attacking bases. He is a field main officer, so it makes sense. Lady Shadow had, a couple of surprising ones here. Although they were all in the 40s, maybe these could have stayed orange. They were in the high 40s, close to that 50s. Now, the way we have done these color coordinations, guys, is if it's over 50 mil, it's green, or if it's very close to 50 mil, it's green. If it's between 40 mil and 50 mil, it's orange, and if it's in the 30s, it's basically considered red. Not that good. Again, this is purely attacking bases. There is nothing to do with attacking units. It is purely on dealing damage to bases. So, with that being said, the highest number we got... In fact, we can scroll right down, guys. Obviously, if you want to pause this, whatever, the link to this will be down in the description as well, so that you can go back and keep checking it out. But we're going to scroll down now to here. Now, here is the averages, guys. The average for the highest average that we received in this testing was Vindicta and Silent Thunder. Now, it's not surprising they both have crit, and when that crit hits, which quite often with the two put together, it is pretty strong. So the highest we got, guys, we actually hit 71 mil, and then we also hit a 61 mil. So on average, 66 mil, meaning you can hit up to 70 mil just from this one combination alone, which is kind of crazy. But obviously, they are both exclusive lounge officers, meaning that you're gonna have to spend a lot of money or a good 4 years to unlock these officers. Now, with that being said, the next one here was obviously Vindicta and I. You'll see a lot of I in here. You'll see a lot of Futurists in here. And overall, guys, we also came to the conclusion for the free-to-play options, guys. We have got Yardbird and I, which on average came through to doing much more damage as long as you're pre-charging, obviously. Futurist and I was the second best option. Lady Shadow and I, which, is a pretty decent. It's not too far behind now. But as you notice, those top three are all I. Okay, a lot of people have been saying to me, oh, Futurist is better, yada, yada, yada. In general, guys, obviously, Yardbird and I is going to be your best #1 option. But if you are running Yardbird and I, and you have two Howies, what is going to be your next best option? Well, your next best option, guys, is literally going to be Lady Shadow and Futurist, if you do not have any exclusive lounge officers. But with this table, guys, you can use this table now to basically go through and see what you have, what you don't have, and find the best pairings. So, for example, one thing I'm really surprised with is there's no Lady Liberty on this list. So, let's go back to Lady Liberty here, guys. Every time we done these attacks, the Lady Liberty with all of these officers just didn't really hit that well. And I'm genuinely really surprised. Now, Lady Liberty and I was somewhat mediocre and average, but other than that, guys, to me it felt like that she just is very underperforming compared to all of these other officers. You got like Vindicta with the crit, and I just feel like overall now the crit that's coming in with these officers and just a pure amount of extra damage, these older officers are slowly falling off. The only thing that makes Lady Liberty still a very good officer is the fact that she has that 5 grid range. If she didn't have that 5 grid range, honestly, she's probably not worth having anymore. So, keeping that in mind, even if you are someone who has all of these exclusive lounge officers, what is going to be your best setup? So, if you are someone who spends money on this game, your best option is going to be Vindicta with Silent Thunder, and then, honestly, Yardbird with I as a secondary officer, and then Futurist and Red Heat. That is going to be your 3 highest possible outcomes to get the most amount of damage possible. Now, let's just say you don't have one of those officers. You can then go through this list and basically find what you believe is going to be the best option. And as I mentioned, guys, at the beginning, this file will be available for you to download. It'll be down in the description. Therefore, you can have it saved on your PC, whatever, your phone, and you can go back and keep checking this out to see how you want to shape your Howies, depending on whether you have 1, 2, 3, or even 4 Howies. I mean, that's not normally the case, but some people do have them. As I mentioned at the beginning of this as well, Flame is not on this list. I didn't include Flame, even though, again, he potentially could be worthy of this list 100%. Stinger is not worthy of it, if I'm honest with you. He's just not good at attacking bases. He would be all within the sort of 30 mils. And even, honestly, some would probably be in the 20 mils from him. The other thing as well, guys, is Antonina. I didn't include Antonina, but I will be doing a separate 5 grid officer setup, so that if you guys just purely want 5 grids, what is going to be the best option when it comes to that. That video will also be coming out fairly soon. But regarding that, guys, I mean, the only other officers we can really think about adding to this list here would be maybe Still. Yes, Still is pretty decent. She has a nice amount of coefficient. But with that being said, she is still a defense officer. She loses a lot of damage when it comes to attacking a base. Doesn't mean she's terrible. She is still going to be decent. But compared to a lot of these other officers, I just don't think she's up to par to be needing to put her in the test. Yes, she's good, but I'd still focus on keeping her in defense mode and keeping the others, obviously, in the offense mode. So with that being said, guys, what is your new setup going to be? I'm generally curious to see how many Howies you have. What is the officer setup you're going to be using? Are you free to play? Do you have the exclusive lounge officers? Let me know down in the comments, and I want to rate other people's setups. I generally want to know how many you have and what officers combination you're going to be using. I myself will definitely be getting Yardbird, and honestly, when it comes to these setups, I haven't even thought about myself how I'm going to set it up. I obviously have Red Heat and I have Lady Liberty, so I need to kind of go through and see what's the best 3 options when it comes to attacking a base. So I myself, guys, this is the setup I'm probably going to be running. As I mentioned, I've got Yardbird, I got Futurist, I got Red Heat. This is probably going to be my primary 2 that I use, and for the last one, I could simply just use potentially Lady Liberty with Frostfire. Again, it's not exactly going to be a strong combination, but it's all I've got left. Please let me know down in the comments what your setup is, and obviously I will try and respond to every single comment that is left, and we'll sort of discuss your setups. As always, I appreciate you and hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please think about hitting that like button. It took a lot of work to go through all of these different combinations, and as I mentioned, we're going to be having more howitzer videos coming very soon if you are interested in that 5-grid range. As always, please think about sharing the video to your alliance and potentially your server and any Discord servers you're a part of. Hope you all have a beautiful day, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.